Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rutek, and today we're talking about the top 5 upcoming games of 2020. Now, these are 5 games that I handpicked, didn't take any inspiration from any other videos or anything. I simply just looked at a list of all the games that are coming out this year or have been released earlier this year, and chose the ones that truly caught my eye the most, and the ones that most people are really hyped up about. Made sure these would be some interesting games. And I can guarantee that all 5 of these are probably some games that you're going to also be interested in. So yeah, before we get straight into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and commented, as it really helps out the channel. And if you end up liking the video or the content I post, drop a sub. That also helps. So yeah, let's get straight into the video with my first pick, which is Cyberpunk 2077. You probably saw this one coming, as it is extremely hyped up and one of the most talked about upcoming games right now. Now, to go to the description of the game, it says, "In the most dangerous megacity of the future, the real you is not enough. Become V, a cyber-enhanced mercenary outlaw, going after a one-of-a-kind implant, the key to immortality. Customize your cyberware and skill set, and explore a vast city of the future obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. The choices you make will determine the story and shape the world around you." So clearly this is set in the future, and a lot of the game will be about new technology, just really cool cyber type stuff. So you're playing as someone named V, who, like it says, is cyber enhanced, which probably means he's kind of cyborg, has some really cool add-ons to his body, I guess you could say. Kind of like Iron Man, I assume, that type of thing. And from what the description says, it seems that as you play the game, you try to find new upgrades and gain more power through body modification. So, adding more technology to your bodysuit. Now, this game is developed by CD Projekt Red, which is the same developers that did The Witcher, so we already know that the story, regardless of what the description says, will be good. Even if you're a little skeptical of the storyline and just the development process of this game, it's most likely going to be a very fun and awesome game. So now on to some rumors and confirmed things and details about this game. So the first thing is that character customization is confirmed. You can customize your character V, his face, his body, and you'll also be able to make choices that influence the story. So your character's gender, presentation, what gender you choose your character to be will actually change things a bit apparently, as well as the background that you assign them. And even if everything I just said about the game isn't really intriguing you too much, I think the gameplay that I've had running that was demonstrated in the trailer probably at least caught your attention. Now on to the next game, which is Doom Eternal. So the description for the game says, "Doom Eternal puts you in control of the Doom Slayer as you blow apart new and classic demons with powerful weapons in unbelievable and never before seen worlds. Experience the ultimate combination of speed and power as you rip and tear your way across dimensions with the next leap and push forward first-person combat." So yes, Doom is returning, of course, for another awesome first-person combat game. In my opinion, literally every single Doom game has been really good, so I get the feeling that this one will also be very good. So this game originally was supposed to come out November of 2019, but they had to push it back all the way to March 20th, 2020, which is coming pretty quickly. So since we know that they had to push it back, they probably are trying to do their best job possible to make sure that this game is flawless. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have cared to push it back at all. So I get the feeling that this is going to be a very promising game. The first 10 minutes of Doom gameplay was also uploaded. So if you want to see how the game actually plays, there is 10 full minutes of gameplay of this upcoming game. So we know exactly how it'll play and the mechanics and some new weapons, the graphics. For the most part, everything looks completely solid and no one really has anything bad to say about it. One of the developers was asked how long the campaign of this game will be, and he said it was definitely longer than Doom 2016. He estimated around 18 to 22 hours of gameplay, which is a phenomenal amount of hours. I mean, that's almost a full day, and that was only his estimate. It could be even longer than that. Also could be shorter, but let's stay optimistic and say that it is at least towards the 22-hour range. Another cool detail about this game is its setting. It is set in literal hell on Earth, so it's pretty much Earth, but with a huge touch of hell, for lack of a better explanation. Unfortunately, at launch, there won't be any mod support, but they said they might support it down the road. So yeah, that does it for Doom, March 20th. Be sure to be looking out for that. Next up, one I know a lot of people are looking forward to, we have Halo Infinite. So a quick description on this game is that Halo 5 splits the player's time between Master Chief and Spartan Locke. It's a narrative shift that, frankly, not too many were keen on. So, for Halo Infinite, developer 343 Industries is refocusing on the Saga's main green armored protagonist. Y'all know who that is. The team also heard feedback loud and clear on the amount of time spent playing as the Master Chief in Halo 5. In Halo Infinite, the game will focus on the Master Chief and continue with Saga after the events of Halo 5, which is what studio head Chris Lee wrote in a blog post. So we do know that this game will take on a brand new story that is along the lines of previous iterations of the series. Another awesome detail is that it will be an open world game. Now, most modern open world games have been super good, so and as we know, the developers of this Halo game are working extremely hard, and this is one of their most ambitious projects, so I have a lot of hope for this, especially because it's open world. This game will also be playable on PC, which is something a lot of people have been asking for, and I'm especially hyped because I'm also a PC gamer, so yeah, it's a very awesome thing that they're making it compatible with PCs. Next game we have is Half-Life Alyx. You probably also saw this one coming when you saw that there was a top 5 upcoming games 2020 list. So the description for this is pretty short. It's set between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2. Half-Life Alyx is a new full-length game built from the ground up by Valve for virtual reality. So if you're like me, you probably don't have a virtual reality headset, but there are a lot of upcoming virtual reality headsets that are coming out that will be on the more cheap side, as well as newer generations of the more expensive, higher end virtual reality headsets, which will make the older generations be a little cheaper. So even if you don't have a VR headset, they'll become easier to obtain as time goes on. But the main point of this game is that it's Half-Life, and you and I both know that a lot of people have been asking for a new Half-Life game for a very long time. Now, according to its Steam page, it is coming out in March, and it works with all Steam VR compatible headsets. So like I said, this is a VR game. VR is required. There's no like port for just playing on a mouse and keyboard with a monitor. You need to use a VR headset to play this game. It would not work outside of VR. Pretty much this is a game about Alex Vance's backstory, and it is not a direct continuation of the events that occurred after Half-Life 2. So pretty interesting that they didn't try to make a full sequel. Instead, they're kind of doing an in-between episode, like for example how Star Wars did Rogue One, which was set between episode 3 and episode 4, that type of thing, if you're looking for a little parallel. Now, to be honest, there isn't very much confirmed about this game other than what we've seen in the trailer. So for the most part, you're going to want to go watch the trailer if you want to find out a bunch of things about this game. But trust me, the trailer looks very promising, and it's a Half-Life game produced by Valve, so we can trust that it's going to be a very good game, especially because they had so long to plan out this game. Finally, our last game for the top 5 games of 2020 list is LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Now, I don't think too many people will agree with me on this one, maybe a good bunch, but in my opinion, this is a huge game, as LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga is one of my favorite games of all time. Just something about little LEGO characters playing in a story-based game with awesome graphics, it really captures my attention and seems like a really fun thing to do, especially because it's something I played as a kid, something I played actually recently. I just installed LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga not too long ago onto my Xbox and played a little bit of it, and just was as fun as the first time I picked it up. And apparently this is an open world game, so you can travel between planets and things like that. It seems to have a ton of planets that you can travel in between and just explore. I mean, that's just a really cool thing, and there's a lot of space for them to do pretty much what they want, as it's a LEGO game and a lot of things can just be made up or improvised as they have in past games. And personally, I'm most excited to see what they're gonna do with episode 3, as that's, in my opinion, the most action-packed episode in Star Wars. As a matter of fact, it's not even an opinion, it's just fact. Episode 3 has the most action out of all the stories, so we're probably going to have a round with Battle of Coruscant, so a really cool starfighter level, as well as the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. That'll be totally awesome. Or maybe the fight between Yoda and Palpatine. Just things like that. You could pretty much think of any cool fight scene in Star Wars, put it into the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker saga, try to imagine what it'll be like, and you just know that the developers of this game work really hard and probably are huge fans of Star Wars, so they're going to make it look awesome. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you like the content you're seeing, drop a sub. If you have any comments or questions, drop a comment. And if you like the content you're seeing, drop a like. Thanks for watching. Peace out.